Welcome to this week's media presentation on 2 theories of public administration in a modern-day situation. So the first theory that I'm going to speak about is Frederick W. Taylor's scientific management theory. So in today's modern day situation in public administration that I'm most familiar with is DPSS, which is Department Public of Social Services. So in DPSS, in the Adult Services Division, social workers have to conduct home visits, assess clients, also assess their needs, and input the case within 3 days and have the case filed within the month that they are seen, while also balancing a caseload of 40 to 50 clients per month. So in Frederick W. Taylor's case management theory, it is one that is mostly used in DPSS, that is most evident to me at least, because they're always implementing changes that occur that is meant to improve the productivity of the office, even if this means dividing up the work to form an assembly so that things can get done more quickly. It is sometimes abrupt, and it happens frequently. For example, for the department that I work for, which is IHSS, the social workers no longer answer phones. They don't have a desk phone or anything, so they don't have direct contact with clients except for their yearly visits, because we now have a call center. So the purpose of creating a call center was to have social workers better manage higher caseloads instead of worrying about calls, and the call center can just worry about answering high volumes of calls. So this parallels Frederick W. Taylor's scientific management theory because he believed in breaking up tasks in order to produce the most amount of work in the shortest amount of time. And usually beforehand, certain changes that occur within DPSS, such as the implementation of the call center, before that was even launched, it was basically launched as a pilot, which tested the efficiency of the new changes to see if it is worth implementing it statewide. If it is not efficient, then it gets removed, and if it is, like I said, it gets implemented statewide despite what the employees or clients want. The second theory I'm going to speak about is Mary Parker Foyet's organizational theory, which is a polar opposite to Frederick W. Taylor's theory. So Mary Parker Foyet's theory is sometimes used in order to help motivate workers. Her idea of a reciprocal relationship between employers and employees is not always seen within DPSS because there is a hierarchy that takes place, but because there's a lot of individual work as social workers that does take place, there is a level of power with rather than power over. It is easy to power over because sometimes supervisors want to micromanage, but when there's a higher volume of work, supervisors tend to implement more of a power with concept, where workers are trusted to make their own decisions and handle their own caseloads at a reasonable timeline, especially since telework is something that is being implemented, or there is an attempt to implement it throughout the whole office, which means that it is mainly pushing workers to work from home certain days of the week. And this has helped supervisors learning how to work with employees instead of powering over them. I don't think that there is one specific theory that holds true today in its original form. I do think that there are many concepts and theories that are outdated and could be changed in order to better apply to today's modern day situation to better benefit public administration. I do think that we are entering a new era where technology is apparent, and that has a lot to do with why the theories need to be updated. But despite that, there are some theories that do help. But if it were updated, it would be stronger. I do think that the theories discussed in the course are useful because we can pick and choose which parts of the theories we want to use in order to come up with a strong foundation. For example, I do agree with Frederick W. Taylor and his emphasis on finding the most efficient way in managing and how he emphasizes that time is important. And I also agree with Max Weber's theory, which states the importance of a hierarchy and that there needs to be a chain of command so that there is an accepted chain of command that supports the organization's goals and accomplishments. And I also agree with Mary Parker and listening to the workers since they are at the forefront and can give ideas on how to better manage. Yet there are flaws in each theories because in Frederick W. Taylor's, If we just focus on efficiency, we risk losing quality because we are just focusing on efficiency. But if we just do what Mary Parker suggests, then we can lose efficiency because we are more focused on feelings and how workers believe things should be managed. Because as we know, there's a lot of workers and they have different ideas and different point of views. And by only sticking to Weber's bureaucratic management theory, we lose the best practice of leadership because it is mainly focused on hiring based on specific qualifications and not so much on having both the experience and characteristics of a leadership that can help motivate others. Thank you for listening to this week's media presentation on public administration and the theories. I hope you have a great weekend.